In this video, we're going to be taking a look at creating a lamp base for this particular little Disney character. Now, I went here on Etsy and purchased these SVG files for $1.99, and we're going to turn this one into a custom name lamp. So we're going to make a lamp, and then we're going to add a custom name to the bottom of that. So what we do is we do everything in Inkscape because we feel like it's quick, it's easy to learn, and it's a very, very quick way to accomplish this task. So I'll walk you through it here. Let's go ahead and import the artwork in question. And there it is, number 7. So this is our SVG. Now, if you decide that you would like this file when I get all done here, feel free to just we ask that you make a comment in the video and then send us email with your request, and we'll make sure we get it sent out to you. So this is our SVG, and you can see here it does come in as a group, so we'll right click on that and choose ungroup. Now, for those of you who don't know, Inkscape is a totally free software, has an amazing library of video tutorials on how to use it. And once you spend a little bit of time in here, I think you'll find that it's actually very intuitive and easy to use. So first things first, this little kind of squiggly hair, let's see if we just delete that. Yep, we could just delete it. Still looks really nice. But we'll get rid of that color. One of the drawbacks to doing these types of characters is, generally speaking, there's quite a few different colors. Most of our AMS systems only have 4 colors. So we're not going to focus too much on the number of colors, but just know that if you only have a 4-color AMS, some of these colors will definitely have to be printed separately. So first of all, let's toggle that. Okay, so this is our black. So we'll go ahead and just make it black, and then I'll turn it off. That's what I usually do. And then this color is, I don't know, we could call it tan, I guess, for lack of a better term. There we go, tan skin. And we'll just toggle that off. And then we have our pink clothes. Okay. And then we have our mauve. I'll call it mauve, or rose. Let's call it mauve. All right. And then we have this kind of, maybe peach. We'll call it peach. I really don't know. Toggle that off. And then we have our blue. Go ahead and toggle that off. And then this, we'll come back to that. I might add it to pink clothes here. I really don't know. And what do we have here? We have some white. So let's go ahead and make that white. And then we have brown. Okay. And then we still have this. Okay, so there is white and brown. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn back on all of our colors again. I think we got that kind of sorted out. And then we were going to take our lip color and add it to this color, which I think we could do. So when we want to combine things together, it's called union. There's a couple of options. We could Control K, that would combine, but Control Plus will also get the job done and make those one. Okay, so now they are the same color. And then this color here, what is that? Okay, we call that tan skin. All right, so we have, what's this one? Okay, that's our blue. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 colors. So if we had two AMS systems set up on our printer, which a lot of people do, then you could print this no issues. With a 4-color AMS, well, we have to be more creative when we print. So probably what I would do is print the big stuff, like the black, the tan skin. That's the next big piece. I'd like to go ahead and print that, and then probably the pink clothes. And then the other idea is don't print the big stuff. Leave that separate and print the small, tiny details, because then you don't have to glue those in place. You know, these big pieces will be easier to glue into place. So, you know, there's kind of a double rule there. So now, as far as wanting to add a little text box here, we will move that down here just so we could see it a little bit better, to put in a custom name. So we can, not exactly sure how we're going to do it just yet. Let's just do that right there. Okay, I think that works. Doesn't have to be totally centered if we didn't want it to be. So however you want it to be as far as that goes, I think that works. Okay. So now what I want to do is go ahead and take my box here and then shift click this black and go ahead and hit Control plus. That will combine those two. And then let's go ahead and type out some text here. So we'll grab this right here and we'll just type out Harley, because that is my daughter's name. And for the color, let's go with this blue. I think that's a pretty blue. So let's go ahead and use our eyedropper tool here. And didn't mean to do that. So we're going to select our Harley here and then go to our eyedropper tool. There we go. And see there? So now we can kind of scale this down a little bit and make it fit a little bit better. A little bit more, and then we can just visually center it. Okay, something like that. So I'm going to slide this down a little bit. So where this skirt is coming over the text, what I want to do is just kind of cut that away a little bit. Or we could modify the skirt. Maybe that's the better way to do it. Just modify the skirt a little bit, or a combination of both also. So we could just come up here, delete all of these, make it just a small modification like that. And then where it's still touching, what I thought I would do here, let me back up here because I do see this. So I'm going to go ahead and add a node right there. So we'll add a node here, and then we'll move that up. And we go ahead and get rid of all of those. And then we can control that. There we go. So now what I want to do is offset that just a little bit. Okay. So to do that, we're going to simply duplicate it, hit Control D, to duplicate it. And then we'll come up here to Path Effects, and we'll do an Offset Path Effect. And I don't know how much, maybe we'll try 1.5 millimeters. That's probably enough. So we'll go to Path and choose Object to Path. And then we'll take that path and this one, and we'll just trim it back a little bit. So Path Indifference. So now you can kind of see that's been trimmed back a little bit, and now it's not overlapping. Okay. So this could be white, this could be whatever color ultimately we want it to be. That part doesn't really matter too much. So what we could do now is just kind of turn off everything that is a color. So we'll select everything and turn that off. And now all we have left is essentially our backplate. So let's go ahead and name that backplate. And then we can show you how to turn this portion of it into a lamp. So we're going to duplicate this backplate. And then let's turn off the original backplate. And then here, we're going to duplicate it again, and then we'll add a path effect. And we're going to add a 2 millimeter, negative 2 millimeter, I should say, path effect. And we'll give it any color, doesn't matter what color, just so you could see it. But then we'll do path and object to path. Every time we do a path effect and we're happy with it, then we want to do an object to path. And then we want to shift click the black. So our green was already selected, but then we're going to do control minus. Okay, that is difference. So when you come up here to path and difference, that's what you want to be using. Okay, so this is the sides of our lamp. And we'll just scroll that right on down. So there's the sides of our lamp. So we're going to go back to our back plate and duplicate it again. And then we will turn off our sides because we don't need that anymore. And then we have to create one more piece here. So we're going to offset 2.1 millimeters. So we will select a shape. We will offset 2.1 millimeters this time. Negative 2.1, of course. Okay, and then path and object to path. And then we're going to duplicate that path by hitting Control D. Okay, and then back to path effects, of course. And we're going to offset negative 2. We need negative 2 again. Okay, and then we can give it a color just so we can see it. And yes, we're happy with that. So let's go into wireframe mode. So under the view menu, display mode, outline. We could toggle between those two just by hitting Alt Q, at least I can. But what we want to do is we want to go path and object to path, of course. Now, when we do those offsets, and we do a lot of them, sometimes we get goofiness going on. See this goofiness, what I call goofiness? So we're just going to Alt click and get rid of those nodes. When we see weird anomalies like that, we're just going to come in here and circle them. It's a flaw of InkScape, really, if nothing else. So we just kind of look for those. They don't always happen, but mostly always. So be on the lookout for it, and then just Alt-click, and you can circle around the nodes that you want to delete. We're not worried about the inside. This usually always happens on the inside, not on the outside. So we'll just take a quick look here. Make sure I don't see anything. See, just a couple, that's it. It was just those couple little quirks there. So we'll select this kind of pinkish tone and then our shift click our black. And remember, we'll do control minus. That'll cut us a hole. And now this becomes our flange. Okay, so we've got our back plate, we've got our flange, we've got our sides, and then we have all the colors of our design. Okay, so now we will go ahead and hit File and Save. And We'll hit D Princess, we'll call it. Okay, now there is one more thing that we want to do. We want to turn on everything that we had turned off, of course. So we'll turn all that back on. So now all that's back on. And then what I would like to do is I'd like to center just a little object here. And I'll show you when we get into actually slicing this and building our 3D model, then I'll explain what that piece is right there. But we're going to go to our alignment tools here, and then align last selected horizontal alignment. That would be the dead center left to right. Isn't that going to make a cute lamp? So one other thing we should look at is how big this lamp is. This lamp is too big for my bed. So let's go ahead and tell you what let's do. Let's select that part of the lamp. I think I'm going to make it, what if we did 200 for the height? Is that good? And then we'll recenter this. 200 would be 8 inches tall, which it will take a while to print. Keep that in mind. The bigger we make the model, the more it's going to take to print. So there we go. Now, we didn't change it that significantly. We probably should have scaled it before we started doing all those offsets, but we didn't scale it too significantly. So the point is our 2mm sides are now not 2 millimeters. They're less than that, but not significantly less than that. So you'll be fine. So anyhow, that's all we have to do here inside Inkscape to create our lamp base. Now, it doesn't really get much easier than that. So if you can find an SVG to start with, then you're literally 9/10 of the way there. So, and now what we'll do is we'll pop over to our slicer and actually turn it into a 3D model. But I will link to that video in the video description below so you can find it, because that's a whole separate process. So again, if you want this design file, just drop us a comment in the video, maybe like as well, and then just send us an email that says you'd like this design file, and we'll be happy to send it over to you. So until next time, thanks for watching.